this is the completed assembly. I wasn't going for a beauty contest. I could have done it a little bit differently and made it look better. But I'm going to save that for version 2. There will be a version 2. And I know what you're saying. Well, if you just did it, no. So look over here. See this side case? It's hideous. And so is the other one, because it's 30 years old. So the side case has to come off. Sandblasted, powder coated. Same thing with the other side. There's also a 944 kit or a 955 kit that's going to go in here, because, you know, it's a hot rod. So when I pull the motor out to do the side cases and all the other things, the big bore kit, then all of this will be empty. And then I'll cut all the wires out and we'll go through the whole thing all over again and build a wiring harness and run it that way. On a difficulty scale, I'm going to put this in the hard range, only because of all of the variations in modifying switches and rerunning wires to make a switch. So we had to, well, and the horn got me, but that was my fault because the wire was broke. But what you're used to from the factory wiring diagram really doesn't apply when you're using this, because now the key is a switch. So one side of the key goes to ground, the other side comes over here and activates these things. Same thing with the horn, the start button. The start button has to be rewired. The rear brake switch has to be rewired. And then, you know, trying to tidy everything up. So this is better than what I had before as far as wiring goes. It's a lot shorter now. And all of these, you know, connector things are gone. So there's not wires looping around. I probably saved £1, so that means it's going to go faster, of course. It's probably good for 10 horsepower. The other thing you have to think about and get out of your brain is large gauge wires. So this thing doesn't want large gauge wires. These are all the outputs from the factory. You see how small they are. So your big wire is here from your battery. Everything else is teeny tiny. You don't need 12 gauge, 10 gauge going into this thing, because it doesn't require it to function. It's just an input. It's not a voltage or an amp. It's just an input. It's like an on-off switch. Any voltage will trip it. So you don't need big wires. So the big wires had to be stepped down to get into the thing. And then the little ferrules, I guess if you buy the crimping tool, it would be okay. But, you know, me, I was just tinning them, putting some solder on them, getting them stiff, and then they'd go in just as fine. And I don't have to worry about ferrules coming loose or anything like that. I used some of them, but I kind of went back and redid it with solder. So the last thing, oh, and this is something completely different. So this is just a hot lead from the battery. It runs through a fuse and goes to my voltmeter USB ports. But it was extra because we only needed one. So the last thing is this little beauty panel that went over here. So this is the cover, and the cover bolts to this. So it's a sandwich on the bike this way. And then this snaps on here for decorative, informational purposes of the past. So if you want this to work, this has to clip on here and here. All the bolts get switched out for stainless, only because it rusts less. So that's going to protrude like that. And then like that. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to hollow this out, and then there's enough space to where I could put a plate on the bottom, and then you'd have like a little tray. And then you can put this in here. Aye. And so for the regular person, they think it is a fuse box, but you could actually pop it open and drop some stuff in here. What could you drop in there? You know, your keys. I don't know. Something. There's not a lot of space, but it's going to look stupid without it. So let's get to that. So this is a carbide tip for the Dremel, and it should do the trick pretty easy, because this is just plastic.
I had a dream the other night, I was dressed up all in black, wearing my finest clothes, riding a brand new Cadillac. 6 strong friends by my side, gonna take up my slack. I ain't gonna wake up, no, I ain't coming back. Deep and cold, down in the graveyard ground, cold and deep. Rest up easy, trouble no more. Always been a fighter, I guess that is my fault. My whole life has been a battle, I finally got caught. Shot down stone cold graveyard there, trying to rise above. Way too much blind faith, baby, way too little love. I keep some money in my guitar case, save up for the man what dig my grave. 9 foot, 10 foot, 11 foot down, deep and cold in the graveyard ground. Rest up easy, trouble no more. Cold and deep, deep and cold in the graveyard ground. Heaven ain't gonna suit me, angel can't sing no blues. Already been to hell, baby, and paid that devil my dues. Pull me down deep and cold, where I can get some peace. I can feel the cars roll by, oh Lord, I need some sleep. Rest up easy, cold and deep, deep and cold on the graveyard ground. Rest up easy, trouble no more. Nine foot way too shallow, 10 foot ain't enough, 11 foot will almost do, man. Show me a little love. Pull me down deep and cold, where I can get some peace. Where the midnight train won't call my name, where post, so rest in peace. Rest up easy, trouble no more. Rest up easy, all deep and cold. Rest up easy, trouble no more. Deep and cold.
So an old motorcycle license plate. And then for sealant, we're using Craggle. And then we'll let that Craggle dry. So now the bottom is sealed. And then when you open it up, boom! Texas, y'all. We got some stainless bolts for one. Take the lid off, y'all. I like the part when they were building this, they said, hey man, we got this post, you want to put a screw under it? And everybody's like, oh yeah, that's a great place for it. Yeah, none of the wires are touching. I'm gonna probably put it on upside down, didn't I? No. So there we go. Texas. Where's that bike from? Texas. Okay, so the only thing left is I gotta wipe some bugs off the frame and then put it together. So I'm gonna call it done. Done. Version 1. V2, we'll do the custom wiring harness. Now that we know what we're doing, let me take that back. Now that we've done it once, the next time, it should go a little bit smoother. We don't have to worry about switches because they're already wired. I would like to clean up this information board light thing. Just find one thing that you like about the video and then hit the like button. How's that? Thanks for watching. Y'all take care. Okay, I was wrong or premature. So I'll give you a look after she's fully dressed. So you can see the wires down in there. And down here, you can see the wires there. And right there. But from a rider perspective, I think we're fine. I can live with it. It functions. So if we turn it on, we got headlight. I'll move. Headlight. High beam. Tail light. Brake light. Pet bulb. Brake light. Stand by, I got a bulb problem. Bulb. So this thing has a automatic setting where it'll turn the blinker off. I have it set to, I don't know, 20 seconds or something. But I can change that in the app to what I want. but no more cruising down the road with your blinker on. So power's off, and then if I give it the guts, oil light goes off, then you give it the fire. And we're making voltage because that gauge is wired directly to the battery. So the battery's picking up voltage from the stator, regulator, rectifier, and everything's functioning as it's supposed to. So that I could turn the gauge off. Even though the little LEDs don't draw a lot of power, but you know, they're off. So no power draw. It's a little late to go out and give it a go, but I'll do that tomorrow in the morning. So I missed my ride today, but that's okay. I'll meet those guys later. We'll go on another one. So that's it. Now hit the like button. Because you gotta like it. Look, it's gorgeous. I'm gonna play around with the app, make some adjustments. Don't ask me when. We'll do it all over again. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day.